Well, good Sunday morning to you. Ryan McPike and I, meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin, have you covered when it comes to this winter storm impacting our area. We still have advisories and warnings underway until later on this afternoon and this evening. Systems just continuing to kind of unfold over the area right now. We've got multiple crews out and about throughout town just covering this winter storm, and we will continue to provide you more updates, not only here on air but also online, as well as even on Facebook.
Yeah, we've kind of been going back and forth, doing a little TV and then a little more on Facebook here, and basically it's a well-advertised storm. We've been talking about this for almost a week. One reason we wanted to give it a little extra attention today, and we already have some churches that are closing this morning because of the weather. Also, traditionally, it's one of the biggest travel holidays of the year. I think it is classified as number one, although maybe not this year, because I noticed coming back from Kansas City, a lot of people were jumping out ahead of this, and for good reason. Winter weather advisories with occasional ground blizzard conditions with 40-mile-per-hour winds here in the metro and a reduction of visibility, and then as much wind but more snow, especially as you get south of town, blizzard warnings, and those have been expanded all the way to KC. And it's interesting, I was kind of watching down there and of course on my phone what was going on up here. Their 2 to 4 inch forecast there has now become 4 to 8. So ours is sitting good. We were talking about this. We're right on the edge. We may be talking about an inch, maybe an inch and a half or 2 on the low end. And locally, we could push 4 or 5, I think, toward the Platte River here.
Yeah, definitely, because of these heavier bands that's setting up, and I know you're going to give us more information on that here in just a moment. But as we showed you, again, the advisories, the warnings in effect, and wind is a huge factor. But now here's the snow, and you can see that throughout the morning hours, we did see a wintry mix. It started off as rain late last night. Now that is definitely changing over very quickly between Clarinda, Nebraska City, Maryville, also around St. Joe. All that rain is now switching over to snow and a wintry mix, getting a little bit of sleet mixing in between Nebraska City and Clarinda right now. But that snow line, you can see what a sharp cutoff it is. Basically north in Columbus now to Kama, not a whole lot happening for you. Norfolk, another little band is setting up further to the north, but these darker shades of blue and even purple showing us where some of the heaviest rates of snow are. And Ryan McPike will get to that here in just a moment, but we want to go ahead and zoom in and show you that here in Sarpy County is where we are anticipating probably some of the more significant snow totals, at least in the Omaha metro, between Bellevue, Papillion, Springfield, even over Gretna. We've had our crews. Jake Wazakowski has been covering I-80. Let's go ahead and check in with him right now to show you just what kind of travel conditions they're dealing with. And you can see that the snow is definitely picking up further south that you go along I-80. Is Jake ready to be able to give us an update there? Jake, tell us, because I know you've had some changes here as far as you did take a little bit of break because, you know, so much snow had covered your windshield. Now you're back on the roadways again.
Yeah, the right lane in westbound I-80 has been pretty much covered now, and portions of the middle lanes have as well. So the snow is really starting to stick. Photographer Wade Lux driving it at this point at about 50 miles an hour. Right, our camera view ain't going to get much better right now because we're having some issues with the windshield wiper on it, but it's frozen. But as you can see, vehicles are still moving pretty steadily. It's not too slick out yet, but the snow is starting to accumulate more. When we were coming back the other direction eastbound, at one point near the Gretna exit or the Nebraska Crossing Outlet Mall exit, all lanes were covered with snow. So one of the biggest things that Wade was saying right now is definitely the winds. It's dealing with the heavy wind gusts, but pretty much again the entire right lane is covered in snow at this point heading westbound. That's mostly because we keep having those southeast to northeast winds, as well as a portion of the left lane in the eastbound direction of I-80. But we're passing one of the signs here pretty quickly. NDOT, we've seen a number of NDOT plows out lately. No blades down yet. They're still pre-treating. I didn't see a blade down pushing any snow off just yet. Still putting sand and salt down right now. Winter conditions, slower speeds advised, as the state board says for anybody out here right now. But again, yeah, the right lane was just starting to be covered at 5 o'clock. Now it is pretty much covered for the majority of what we've been traveling here on I-80, right between the Giles Harrison exit and Ashland. So now we're going to send it over to John Kipper, who is in Sarpy County, with more from there.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Actually, at this point, we are in Cass County near the Plattsmouth area, and things are getting very, very slick. We're right now on Highway 75. We passed Plattsmouth. We're going north as of now after turning around. Both lanes on the lanes on both sides of the roads completely covered in snow at this point as we try to get you a view of kind of what we're seeing. Obviously not a great view, but it is very, very slick right now. We've been going anywhere from 20 to about 35 miles an hour. That tends to be what the traffic is right now. Thankfully, not a lot of vehicles out, but yeah, things getting very, very slick as you head more and more south. But that's all we have right now here in Cass County. Back over to you, Zep.
Thank you very much, John. Really do appreciate it. Again, we've got our crews covering things. We'll get to Maya Signs here in just a moment, because as we've mentioned throughout the morning that this is expected to be the, biggest travel day that we're looking at because of Thanksgiving. So again, extending all the way back to the east of us. This storm system just now starting to increase showers in Chicago, but that will eventually change later on this afternoon, this evening. St. Louis also will be impacted by the storm, and Kansas City. So not only is ground travel being impacted, but certainly air travel. So real quick, we're going to check in with Maya Signs for an update from Epley Airfield.
Yeah, Jennifer, if anyone is traveling today, you're probably going to be going through Epley, and if you're going anywhere warm, please take me because it is pretty cold out here today. So far, the commute here, we came here from our station with the 108th and Q, and traffic wasn't really that bad. The roads were wet, but they've been doing a pretty good job of plowing that and making sure they're treating them and making sure they're good to go for travelers today. As you can kind of see, it's kind of been steadily traffic here. It was a lot busier around 5 o'clock with a lot more flights, those early flights. Right now, people are telling me that they're getting here about 15, 20 extra minutes earlier. We all know that flying out of Epley can be pretty quick, but they're taking that extra time to get here just in case of any weather delay that there may be. Checked online, there's a couple flights that have been delayed as of about 5 minutes ago, only 5 of them, most of them either to Chicago and anywhere that you have to fly over the Rocky Mountains like Salt Lake City. But if you're coming down to the airport, just make sure you're taking your extra time just to get here safely. And again, make sure you check the flight status of your flight in case there's any changes to your flights. Reporting live, Maya Signs, 3 News Now.
Thank you very much, Maya. Really do appreciate it. So just a real quick view on what we're still anticipating as far as the overall snow amounts. Again, further north between Tekamah, Denison, 0 to 2, pretty much the snow has come to an end there. For us, though, here in the metro, probably close to about 2-3 inches. Again, a little bit more significant into Sarpy County. And then the further south you go, that is where the totals are going to be significant. Then you add the wind into all of that, and that's going to make for some dangerous travel. We'll continue to keep providing you more updates here on 3 News Now, but we'll also be live streaming on Facebook, so check us out there.